Hey, what's up everybody? So today I'm going to be going over a full body mobility routine. You can use it as the start to one of your workouts, or you can also use it as something that you do on your day off, where you're just really trying to work on your mobility and flexibility in that sense, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get it going. We're going to start off starting from head, going all the way down to our toes. Okay, this one is going to be done on the floor. Make sure that you can see my whole body on this, okay? So we'll start off at the top of the head, tucking the chin, making sure the back is nice and flat. Like I said, use this as a checkpoint to go through your entire body, making sure that everything is nice and ready to go, okay? And so we're gonna go through 3 repetitions for each move. So just make sure that you're taking these moves through the full range of motion, wherever that full range of motion might be for you. All right, now we're gonna look over those shoulders, checking the blind spots, trying to get as much range of motion as you can on those rotations, okay? Coming through all the way, and then we'll go into our neck rolls, okay? Really trying to avoid any points, pain points, or points of aggravation. If you do feel anything in that neck, kind of tiptoe around it, okay? We don't want to do anything that's going to aggravate that, all right? So, like I said, just use this as a checkpoint to kind of go through our entire body to make sure that, if something's feeling a little bit tight or particularly loose, then you can just make sure that you're aware of that, okay? From the neck, we're gonna go onto our cat-cow, so making a big dome up top, bringing those shoulder blades apart, getting a nice little stretch on those lats and the shoulders, exhaling all of our air and tucking the chin, and then as we bring that back down, we're gonna retract those shoulder blades, kind of dip the back a little bit and reach that head up, looking up as much as we can. Okay, we're gonna go through this 3 times. Really, once again, trying to get that full range of motion, and then also just trying to kind of feel out that spine and get a little bit of movement in that spine coming from our cranial pump to our sacral pump, okay? Kind of getting some fluid going through there. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna rock back onto our toes, okay? Kind of tuck those toes underneath. I kind of use it as more of an arch stretch, but if that feels a little uncomfortable, you can always bring those toes down. All right, so I like to lean back just to make sure that I'm only getting rotation from my T-spine and not my lumbar spine, okay? Because your lumbar spine is not really meant to rotate, all right? Our T-spine is what's meant to do that rotation, okay? Bringing that elbow all the way back and reaching as far as you can through there. And you'll be able to see that on the other side, how I'm reaching. All right, so we want to reach as far as you can, and then bring that back here, okay? Reach as far as you can, and then bring that back here, all right? Reaching through that. Okay, next move that we have, we're gonna go into a hip rock, so we're gonna bring those knees a little bit closer in towards each other, and what I'm trying to do on this is just really get that piriformis and that glute complex ready to go, kind of fired up throughout there, kind of rocking back, getting a little stretch on the outside of that hip. Okay, next move that we have is going into our down dog, and I like to do our down dog dynamic because everything to begin with should be done dynamically. We're not going to want to hold on to any stretches for particularly too long. Just once again, trying to get that whole full range of motion on that posterior chain, okay? All right, from there, we're going into our plank position, which is gonna bring us into our greatest stretch, okay? So I'm gonna do this from both sides so you can see both angles on that. Bringing one leg up, you're gonna try to bring that foot right next to your hand, set that next to your hand, and then we're gonna drop that elbow, rotate up. Okay, we're gonna do 3 rotations on one side. You can always drop that back knee if you need to, okay? Then we're gonna replace those hands and come over to the other side, pivoting that back foot, and then also making sure that that trailing leg just straight out, okay? And then last but not least, going from that move, we're gonna go to a hip flexor to hamstring. Okay, so hip flexor, hamstring, squeezing the glute, making sure that you're bringing your hips forward, okay, not overextending at the back, and then coming back into that hamstring, hip flexor. On the hamstring stretch, make sure you point your toe up and keep a soft knee on that, okay? You don't want to lock your knee out because then that stress is going straight behind the knee and not hitting the hamstring where you want to. All right, and then last but not least, let's go ahead. We'll move over to that other side, setting that foot down, drop the elbow, rotate up. Our goal is to try to get that elbow to the ground. Okay, then setting that hand down, opening up the opposite side, and then rotating up on there. And then last but not least, finishing off with that hamstring, really trying to get that hamstring where it connects to the glute underneath on that hip, okay? Then going into that hip flexor stretch. Rocking back and forth, keeping that dynamic, still keeping your chest up on those hamstring stretches, okay? All right, so that's it for our kind of general mobility, right? So you can use that, like I said, to prep yourself before you're getting into your more specific dynamic warm-ups, or you can use that on your days off to kind of help you get through some of those mobility routines and to work on your flexibility. I hope you guys have a great Monday.